let us know. Good morning, please. It is 10:01. We are going to get started. I will now go through the roll. Board Member Broad.
Present.
Board Member Flores.
Present.
Board Member Hall. Okay, hopefully he'll be joining us momentarily. And Board Member Lightstone.
Present.
Also present, and I'm present as well, also present today from our staff for today's meeting is Satya Mathan, who is providing our technical support. Thank you, Satya. Our first agenda item is to approve the most recent meeting minutes from April 7th. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Oh, thank you. Second goes to Board Member Broad. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. The minutes have been approved. Our next agenda item is the chair's report. I just have a few quick updates. One, I wanted to share that we've made some significant progress on deliverables related to the Rural Strategic Engagement Plan. Our office has been very engaged in getting these kind of building blocks in place. In addition to the staffing, ALRB is charged with coordinating and putting out the contracts related to both the outreach related to the program, so development of new materials, as well as a agency-wide cross-training program for the participating agencies. So with respect to outreach, we are using two vendors, the UC Berkeley Possibility Lab, who will be using research-based tools so that we can have effective messaging, and they'll be also creating the actual content, so the design. So this will be print, digital, audio, etc. And then they're going to be working in conjunction with the UC Davis Western Center on Health and Safety. Western Center has been a long respected resource in the agricultural industry space for both employers and workers to help get critical information to farm workers, specifically, as their title says, with health and safety. And we've worked with them on several issues. In this instance, they are going to be conducting a robust program of focus groups with farm workers and community-based organizations to get their input on materials. What do they think about what we're doing? Does this make sense? You know, is this engaging? Is this sharing information they want, information they need? And they're also going to be helping us with things like translation, so including into Indigenous languages. So we're really excited about it. That's been a work in progress this first quarter of the year to kind of get these contracts locked down. They're now ready, and so their Possibility Lab has already started. UC Davis is going to kick off as well, so we'll be seeing more product from them, hopefully towards starting at the kind of like latter part of the year, but then over the next 2 fiscal years as well. Additionally, we are getting very close to putting out a request for proposal or RFP for an event coordinator planner type role for our agency-wide cross-training program. I'm hoping this will be posted in the next few weeks. And last but not least, we have also finalized our agreement with UCLA Labor Center to provide a training on cultural competency. And that is slated to occur in late August or September. Michaela will be sending out a save the date to everybody, but we are sending ALRB, given our mission, we're sending all of our staff, judges, board members, admin, everybody. So it's probably going to be August 27th, but we'll firm that up, and it's going to be in Visalia with the opportunity to have hybrid, but I recommend going if you can go in person. Last but not least, I had the opportunity to attend the California Immigrant Policy Center Day of Action conference last week with Board Member Flores. And it was a very powerful meeting and great to see such a cross-section of advocates from around the state trying to figure out how to help support immigrant populations, particularly in these unusual times. Though my time there was limited, I was able to make some critical contacts with organizations to find out how we can provide additional training and support for our staff. I know this was something you raised in a prior meeting, Board Member Broad, if they are in the field and find themselves in the midst of an enforcement action. So the General Counsel, she's in a hearing, I think, as we speak, but she has prepared, documents and kind of policies regarding how to help protect, or kind of how we should engage with our space as recommended by other model guidances, but we're really looking to, since our staff do go out in the field, and we work with a heavily immigrant population, what do we do kind of out there? And obviously the safety of our staff is of the utmost importance. So these are really preliminary conversations, but it's one we're committed to kind of finding how we can best support our staff through multiple resources. So that concludes the chair's report. We do not have an executive officer's report today. We do have a litigation report, as always, with Chief Board Counsel Laura. Hi, Laura.
Good morning. So a few updates and various matters. In the matter of Wonderful Nurseries versus ALRB, this is the matter in the Fifth District Court of Appeal, case number F0888515/F0888520. This is the ALRB and UFW's appeals of the Superior Court order granting a preliminary injunction. The ALRB and UFW's reply briefs in this matter are due April 22nd, and then when those are filed, that matter will be fully briefed. In the Wonderful Nurseries LLC versus ALRB matter in Federal District Court, that's case number 1:24/CB-01601-KES-KDB. The board filed a motion to dismiss the complaint in that matter on April 7th. Wonderful's response is due April 29th, and then the board will have 10 days after that to reply. Isidore's calling. He's trying.
That's the Eastern District case. you're
Okay,
talking
almost
about.
Satya.
That is the case that I was just talking about is the Eastern District, yes.
Thanks.
Yes.
I was just distinguishing because there's a new San Diego.
Yes.
this Southern
Yeah,
District.
I'll get to that.
Okay.
In Chavez et al., the ALRB, this is a case in Kern County Superior Court. That's case number BCB-25-100649. The board's answer to the complaint in that matter is due April 28th. And then finally, in Olive Hill Greenhouses and Western Growers Association versus ALRB, case number 25CB085CAB-BLM. That is a new case, complaint filed also in US District Court, but this time in Southern District, California, San Diego. That case is another challenge to the board's mandatory mediation and conciliation, or MMC process. Similar arguments to the matter in Eastern District. And counsel for the plaintiffs is the same legal team representing Wonderful Nurseries in that matter. It looks like our response time, actually I don't have a date on that yet. Further updates on that to follow, that it's a new matter, so don't have all the updates. Any questions? Okay, that concludes the litigation report.
That's all?
All right, and I'm messaging, thank you, Laura. I'm messaging our Satya really quick.
Yeah, he left a message, but
So he's Satya, I just sent you a note, but Isidore's trying to use the contact information that he was given earlier. But it's saying he's in a room by himself. So if you could call him, that would be helpful. Okay. Michaela, next we have our litigation report, and it is going to be with Special Assistant Michaela.
New legislation.
Legislation. Sorry, you're trying to do two things at once. Thank you. Legislation report. We actually have a few bills that we're watching, so she's going to give that update. Do you have a question?
No.
Oh, okay.
You were looking.
Oh.
I thought there'd been a cruise.
She's remote. So Michaela, I think Satya has to elevate you to presenter. And then that will hopefully work. Okay, Satya, and Michaela's saying she's ready and she just needs to be made presenter.
Yes, Chair Hasid, I just promoted her and she can talk now.
All right.
There we
Hi,
go.
everyone. Sorry, we're seeing my apartment today. Alrighty. Hi, everyone. So I am thrilled to be giving my first legislative report. It's a very exciting time here at the ALRB. We are currently tracking 6 bills. And I will go ahead and start with the ones in the Assembly. There's 4 there, and then 2 in the Senate at the moment. So I'm going to go in numerical order and just run down the list. I'm also happy to answer questions or talk about it afterwards if anybody has additional thoughts. So our first bill is AB 288 that we are watching. It is from Assemblymember McKinnon, and the purpose of this bill is sort of, I've nicknamed it Super PERB, but it's the creation of sort of a backup to the NLRB. If the NLRB gets a case and they don't choose to adjudicate on it, then PERB is given the power through this bill to make decisions or provide back pay based on that. And it would, if the bill did pass through, there might be some issues with the ALRA and kind of it's subsuming the ALRB. So we will continue to watch that. And its current status is that it's been re-referred to the Assembly Committee on Labor and Employment, and it is being heard on April 23rd. All of these hearings you can join remotely, but you can't comment remotely. So just if anybody's interested in following that. Our next bill is AB 552 from Assemblymember Liz Ortega, and that is the proposal to potentially move the ALRB headquarters out of Sacramento, and that has a time limit on it until January 1st, 2028. That has, as far as we're aware, is a spot bill, and we're not particularly concerned, but it has permissive language. And that passed out of the Assembly Committee on Labor and Employment to Appropriations on April 2nd. We have provided a fiscal, and we currently have no upcoming hearings on that. So that'll be going to the floor if it passes through approps. Next, we have AB 1109, and that is a joint bill from Assembly members Kalra and Gonzalez, and that is the extension of privileged communication to also be between a union agent and a represented worker. That has passed out of the Assembly Committee on the Judiciary on April 8th, and we are currently waiting for updates on that. Our final Assembly bill is AB 1300 that was introduced by Assemblymember Colosa, and that is a bill that we are currently working on analysis for and it covers personally identifiable information for vulnerable populations, and it's specifically calling out immigrant populations. And the bill has a lot of different things that it proposes in the language. It proposes the creation of new policies regarding how we protect that information, as well as a review of the memorandums of understanding between state and federal entities in order to protect that information. It does also have a clause that prohibits the collection of that information unless it is for a legitimate and legislated government purpose. And that has been re-referred to the Assembly Committee on the Judiciary, and the hearing was originally set for the 11th, but was postponed until April 22nd. So I will be all eyes on that. All right, now we'll move over to the bills in the Senate. We have SB 470 from Senator Laird, and that extends current Bagley-Keene teleconferencing provisions until January 1st, 2030. And that was voted out of the Senate Judiciary Committee on the 8th of April and referred to appropriations. It is being heard on April 28th on the floor. And our final bill is very exciting for us, which is SB 846 from Senator McNerney. And this is a bill that will extend to workers the right to put a lien on crops for up to 2 weeks of unpaid wages. It does remove the provision on the original labor code, which means that currently it only applies to limited partnerships. And that has been re-referred from the Senate Rules Committee to the Senate Judiciary, and that is being heard on May 6th. So very exciting things going on in the legislature for us this year. And that particular bill is very exciting because our very own board member, Ralph Lightstone, was one of the originators of some of the original language. So we're really excited to see where that goes. And that concludes my legislative report for today.
Thank you, Michaela. Yes, I was gonna say, the state won't let Ralph go until he finishes that.
50 years ago, I believe. the original.
Finishes his work. So
Okay.
yes, thank you, Michaela. That was great.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Okay, next we have, I think, because this happened also after our last meeting, a very brief
Yes.
but exciting regular update.
Yes. So on April 7th, the Office of Administrative Law approved the board's rulemaking package for that we've been working on a long time. It went into immediate effect, so it's effective also as of April 7th. The text that was approved is available on the board's website in the underlined strikeout format. I haven't checked to see if it's, live yet on Lexis and Westlaw. OAL informed me that it can take a couple of weeks for that update to be made, but the regulations are effective. So that concludes a long period of working on that. So
Yes, it does.
nothing further on that.
Thank you, everyone who worked on that. That was really critical work, and really appreciate that is now finalized. I'm sure all of our stakeholders are grateful too. We've definitely understand and appreciate their patience with us as we worked to get that done, and we wanted to get it right. And hopefully, I think our reg committee and our councils did a really great job. So thank you. Okay, next is our public comment. So if you wish to make public comment, please, you can do so in several ways. The easiest way is, if you're here on Zoom, is to send a message to Satya in the chat or use the raise hand function. We sometimes have people reach out ahead of the meeting. We'll go to those people first, but you can still, if you want to make a comment now, may do so. Or you can email Satya, and her email address should be on the meeting notice. Please note, we only use the chat feature just to indicate if you're having a technical issue or wish to make comment. Please do not make substantive comments in the chat, as they will not be made part of the public record. We ask that you provide your name and organization if applicable, and this information will become part of today's proceedings. If you have any technical difficulties, reach out to us via the Zoom chat function or email, and we will do our best to come back to you and hopefully make your voice heard. Please be on mute if you are not speaking. And then lastly, please, just gentle reminder that we are not allowed to hear, comment on, discuss, or respond. Member Hall, he's here. Let the record reflect. Thank you, Member Hall. One of these days, we'll get it right. We'll figure it out.
Oh my God.
And just to finish that thought, we are not allowed to comment on pending matters, so please do not bring those up in the comments. And with that, I'll turn to Satya. Do we have anyone wishing to make public comment?
There are no public comments at this time. I do not see any hands raised or indications from the participants that they are wishing to make a public comment.
Okay, we'll give it one moment, just in case anyone feels the urge. Okay, not seeing anyone, we will now recess into closed session. So Member Hall, you'll go back to where I think you have been. And so the board is going to close session now at 10:21 a.m. We'll be back for announcements after closed session. Thank you.
They're pretty.
Wonderful. Okay. I think we're just gonna, good afternoon is 1:23. The board is back from closed session. Believe member Hall is working to join as well. I will indicate, so our next agenda item is announcements. Our next regularly scheduled meeting is April 30th, Wednesday, April 30th, so back to our normal Wednesday time at 10 a.m. It will be in Sacramento as well as online at the Zoom information. And with that, we will now adjourn the meeting. Thank you. Bye.